Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is gun monkeys? So, on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, I talked about gun monkeys a little bit. I said, hey, it's a game called Gun Monkeys. That's what I said. I said it like this as well. It's a game called Gun Monkeys, it is. Is it about monkeys with guns? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. It is monkeys with guns in a 1v1 dueling game whereby monkeys are defenders of some kind of futuristic power company and must power the power core, I suppose, with the souls of human beings. Like, yeah, I don't even know. Apparently, human beings are being compressed down into power cubes. Monkeys with guns will power the cores with them and will continue the reign of the electric companies. Something along those lines, anyway. What's kind of interesting about this is that this game is narrated by a fellow by the name of Kevin Eldon. Kevin Eldon, even. Sorry, my apologies. Kevin Eldon. Always get confused. He was in Brass Eye, he was in It Crowd, he's been Alan Partridge, Nighty Night, and so on and so forth. He has quite the British accent, let's just say. The tutorial is probably the best thing I've ever heard. Is the game up to that? Well, that's a different matter entirely, isn't it? Let me show you a little bit of the tutorial, actually, just because I think you might find the voice acting amusing.
Power cubes. Now, this is what it's all about. They sort of just tumble out of mid-air. Ian, in the science team, says it's something to do with conservation of energy. Don't fully understand it myself, but when all the futuristic humans get disintegrated, this is what happens to them. We don't tell that to the customers, obviously. You know what they're like. They'd only ring in to complain about the fact that their kettles are being powered by their great dead grandchildren. I mean, dead dinosaurs? Fine. But heavens no, not great-nephew Clive. That'd be awful.
And there you go, maybe the best tutorial ever. Let's go to the settings menu and see what's available here. So this is a 2D 1v1 deathmatch game, which actually, surprisingly enough, does have a reasonable number of options. Graphics quality, from fastest all the way up to fantastic. Lighting quality, as well as a glow level there, full screen or not, and full resolution options. Pretty much about what you can expect from a 2D game, honestly. Inputs can be fully rebound as you wish. Not a particularly difficult game to master. It also has local 2-player deathmatch as well as the online mode. Up, down, left, right, shoot, action, which is used to do quite a lot of things, including grabbing the walls, and bombs, which are more explosive than you might expect. You can also customize the color of your monkey. Always a nice thing to be able to do, isn't it? So, I've got nice red and blue going on right there. And you can also unlock perks. You can, I think, quit about 3 or 4 at once. And some of them cost an absolute fortune. Now, you can actually lose your money, I believe, in-game. That is actually possible. So you do have to keep winning in order to unlock these perks here and there. Alright, so let's play a game. There are not all that many people playing this. I'm going to be entirely honest with this. There are not that many people playing. There are a couple of servers, and it automatically sets up servers for your Steam groups that you are currently in, which is actually kind of a neat feature, and I'm pretty surprised that I haven't seen more games do it. So what it means is, you go into a server by the name of your Steam group, and you'll see everyone else that's currently hanging around there, and you can play with people in your Steam group. That sounds like a pretty fantastic idea, and of course we do have a Steam group. I don't use it all that much, but Cynical Brick Gaming is a thing. Needless to say, there's no one in there playing Gun Monkeys right now. There's barely anyone playing Gun Monkeys anywhere, really. And what you're going to do then is throw a challenge at somebody. It is a 1v1 deathmatch game, and then it loads a game, and then you start. And I'll show you exactly what it's all about. So as I said, it's a bit of a deathmatch game. Both of you spawn on opposite sides of the map. There are different maps with different attributes. In this case, I appear to be wearing some kind of space helmet. Not entirely certain why. There is actually a map that's underwater, which is kind of neat. And the aim is to try and power up your power core and depower the other guys. And generally speaking, one of the best ways to do that is to kill them. You get a bonus from that, and that also gives you some time to grab some of these little power cubes. You can carry up to 3 at once. If you come back with 3, you get significantly more power than you would have got from only coming back with 1 or 2, which is exactly why I'm going to try and do just that. Bombs are actually hilarious. There we go. Turns out I also have a massive nuke, which works for me. Just wait for him to respawn. Alright, here we go. Oh, ho, ho! Yes. Well, that didn't take long, did it? The matches can actually last for a long time, depending on how well the tug of war goes. Because obviously when you're losing power, he's gaining power, and vice versa. You have to kind of push it to the point where it snowballs and gets his power down to 0. So that was nice and easy. Let's see if we can get another game. As I said, there aren't all that many people currently playing right now, but thankfully there are enough to... Oh, he rejected my challenge. How dare he? How dare he? There we go. Let's try it again. There are enough to get some games going. Thankfully, it is just a 1v1 game, so it's not that bad. So what can you do? Well, as you noticed earlier, you can drop a bomb. That bomb is actually huge, kind of Bomberman style. You can very easily blow yourself up. Very easily. So, always worth watching out for that. You can also grab... Uh-oh, this is not going to go well for either. Maybe it'll go well for me. You can also grab the walls, which is kind of key to survival. Reminds me just a little bit of Showdown Effect, actually, in that respect. Only a little bit more simplistic. There are some weapon pickups here and there. Now, you can't aim precisely. You can only aim in a straight line. So you can either shoot backwards or forwards. They got rid of me arms. How dare he? I'm a bit armless now, aren't I? Oh, let's get out of the way. Preferably not get shot. There we go. That should do quite nicely. I tend to find that people are not so good at dodging bombs, although this guy does seem to have learned his lesson after the last time. It's probably for the best. Considering it's 1v1, you can die pretty quickly. It actually gets rather tense, which is cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, let's see if we can grab that. Oh, in the face. Not so nice. You also have Kevin Eldon kind of insulting you and also giving you tutorial messages along the way, which is really quite cool. And the music's nice as well, actually. It's got a pretty nice, groovy soundtrack. Take a listen. Not too bad, is it? Not too bad. So there's various power-ups that drop around the place, like the big nuke that I showed you earlier, which was absolutely fantastic. Takes a little bit of time to respawn, you lose some power in the process, and it really kind of is that simple. You know, it is a deceptively simple game. It does have a reasonable amount of depth to it, mostly because of the technique that you actually have to use not to die. Using the wall grab feature does give you some fairly fantastic maneuverability, honestly. And I blew myself up, but it's okay, I got him as well. That's not too bad. And the stylized oh, I didn't die. I'm not sure how that happened, but I didn't die. I'll take that. Sweet! There we go. The hyper-stylized nature of the game does certainly help to differentiate it from the crowd. However, the elephant in the room, or should I say the monkey in the room, is quite frankly the fact that it is just a game about grabbing power cores, killing the other guy, and winning. And that's really about it. There's a little bit of variance here and there based on the perks you can get and based on the different maps, but that is kind of about it, which does mean that the concept is fairly simple. It is a fairly limited game. And that comes onto the price point, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Ooh. Shall we... what do I want? Weapons, yes. There we go. I'll get that perk. Absolutely. The concern is whether or not you're going to want to pay $9 or about £6.50 for a game that is just this. I think if it had come out at any other time, I'd have probably said, yeah, you know what? If you can guarantee that you got a couple of people to play it with, it's actually pretty fun. And it is. It really, really is. I'm kind of surprised that there isn't more than a 2-player mode. A 4-player deathmatch mode would be quite nice, I think, or maybe 2v2, or some other different game modes rather than just that particular objective. Looks like we're not going to get into this game, unfortunately. Don't know why. Anyway. If it had more, then I would say, yeah, absolutely. But just before the Steam sale... Ugh, it's a hard sell to make, isn't it? Obviously, if you're watching this after the Steam sale has passed and it ends up being on sale or being discounted anyway, it's fun, yeah? It controls nicely. It reminds me of the deathmatch games of old. A little bit of Hunter Hunted in there. A little bit of course, Showdown Effect, Sold At, stuff like that. It's got a nice design. Oh, no. I think we're good. We're good, let's go. It's got a nice design, it's got good music, it has rather hilarious voiceover. Lord knows how they got him to do that. I mean, it's fantastic that they did, don't get me wrong, but I'm just kind of surprised that they managed to pull it off. And what it does well. And the only problem I've really had with it is it seems like at really, really close range, sometimes the bullets don't connect. I'm not really sure why that is. Trying to figure it out. There you go, have some of that. Oh, no! Oh, no. Embarrassing. And bombs are just hilarious. Just because they're so completely and totally over the top. They blow up half the screen, but they're Bomberman style, so you can very much avoid them. You have to blow yourself up more so than anybody else with the bloody things. You see what I mean? Like, some of those bullets seem like they should have hit them and they didn't. There we go. Oh, you... Oh, God, this is going to keep going on, isn't it? It's really nice. You know, it's a really cool game. It's a lot of fun. If you are willing to play this same kind of mode over and over and over again. It is a game with an extremely limited scope. You can applaud it for sticking to its guns, I suppose. Or you can criticize it for just not having enough stuff in it. And just not quite being what you would really have to see for $10. I mean, you know, Showdown Effect has more in it for $10. That's a concern, it really is. Now, normally if you say reviewing a game, which I don't do, I just do first impressions and kind of talk a little bit, then you'd say, oh, you know, that's not actually relevant to the review or whatever. And yeah, you're kind of right, but as someone that likes to talk to consumers and say, you know what, is this worth it? It's a difficult sell on that basis, which is a shame. It really is. I think this is the kind of game that people should unequivocally pick up in a sale. Also die horribly. There you go. Absolutely. You know, if you see this cheaper, yeah, definitely play it. It's tons of fun. They've obviously put a lot of work into it. Their look is really nice. They've got great soundtrack, and the narration is consistently funny, which is good. You fell for it. I love it. And it's got some great moments. A really, really solid deathmatch game. But maybe some people might say, oh, $10? Man, I'll wait for the Steam sale and see what kind of games I can get then. And I wouldn't blame them at all. You know, that's being a savvy consumer there. Kind of a shame that it came out when it did. But keep an eye on it, folks. Don't forget about gun monkeys. That will be a little sad, I think. It doesn't deserve to be forgotten about. It's fun. And it's got a nice look to it. And it's got great soundtrack. And I'm stuck. Oh, oh, why did I do that? Gun Monkeys, ladies and gentlemen. Currently available on Steam for $9, £6.90 or your regional equivalent. My name has been TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time.